It's Tuesday night basketball on the Hawks Network as Canyon Lake hosts rival Wimberley on the Hawks Senior Night here in Fisher, Texas. Canyon Lake coming into the game, it's been a tough season for the Hawks, a record of 4-19, but again looking to send off this class of 7 seniors off with a win in their final home game as Hawks here tonight. The Texans come in with a record of 13-11. Final instructions from ninth-year head coach Lucas Chapman as the Hawks and Texans take the floor. Mentioned the Hawks record 4-19 this year, just one win so far in district play. That lone district win came January the 19th at Davenport, a 63-62 win, with Tyler Pauly making the game winner that night. And since then, the Hawks have dropped 5 straight, including the rematch against Davenport on Friday. So tonight, Canyon Lake looking to end the skid and pick up a win on their senior night with, again, a class of 7 playing their final home game here this evening. First shot of the game from Ethan Schletter for the Texans, and the Hawks get an early defensive stop. The story on Wimberley. They're coming off of an overtime win over Fredericksburg this past Saturday, the Texans' 4th win in the last 5 games. And with Fredericksburg's loss to Bernie last night, Wimberley has now climbed into a tie for second place in the 28-4A district. A look at this last foul called against Wimberley. It's whistled against Schletter, the Texans' top scorer, his first. Into the free throw line, Colton Winters able to drop in the first of 2. Winters, the Hawks' top scorer this season. 9th most points scored in a single season in team history, with more than 330 coming into the game. Good on both free throws, and the Hawks have an early 2-0 lead. Wimberley has also already clinched a playoff spot with a 5-3 district record, now in the postseason for a 22nd consecutive year. So tonight, the Texans looking to continue getting ready for the postseason and for a season series sweep over Canyon Lake. Last Hawks foul called against Sean Pendleton, his first in the team, as Zane Sutton hits the first of 2 free throws, a senior, averaging just under 9 points a game for Wimberley. Good on both free throws, and we are tied at 2. Last time these two met, January 30th, a 91-52 Wimberley win, and really the first quarter, the tone was set by Wimberley, outscoring the Hawks in the opening quarter then 23-5. This is the 30th all-time meeting between these two. It's been a decided advantage for Wimberley. 26 wins in the first 29 meetings. Pull-up missed by Jackson Watts. The Hawks get the rebound. And Wimberley has won 4 straight in the series. The last Hawks win came January of 2019, not that long ago. And Sutton lost the basketball. Here's Pauly for Canyon Lake. Gets it back, puts it up, off of the 3, and the rebound saved in by Devin Latz for Wimberley. Texans attack the other way. Sutton has the ball go through his mitts, and the Hawks get it back. Again, a long-time rivalry since Canyon Lake came to be. These two have locked horns to a number of sports over the years. The Texans, though, won the first 21 games in the series as Winters misses a 3. Rebound, stick back, won't go for Peyton McMullen. Back comes Wimberley. Nice touch pass inside Schletter into Cade Royal. First field goal for either team. 2 minutes in as the Hawks turn it back over. So again, the Texans won the first 21 games in the matchup before the Hawks got their first win over the Texans in 2017. It's been a tighter series as of late. Last time these two played in this building was February of last year, a game Wimberley won in overtime. Schletter from the corner. Can't hit the 3. Offensive rebound, but it's taken away by Elijah Johnson. Wimberley prone to giving up the basketball. They're turning it over 22 times a game as Pauly nails a three. 25% from beyond the arc this season. The senior was second team All-District a year ago. Been a great point guard for the Hawks. Answer three good from Jackson Watts. The Texans' second leading scorer this season. 7-5 Wimberley lead. Talked about Pauly and how good of a point guard he has been. McMullen, good Euro step with a floater. And we're tied at 7. Pauly is the Hawks' second leading scorer this season. He's the only player besides Colton Winters who scored 20 points in a game this year. And he has more than 100 assists this season. That's the second most in a single season in team history. And again, playing in his final home game here tonight, the senior. Got a whistle underneath, and this will lead to free throws for the Texans. Second team foul against Candy Lake, whistled against Elijah Johnson. And that will send Cade Royal to the free throw line, where he is shooting 59% for the year. And good on the first. The Texans as a team, 66% from the line. 1 of 2 on this trip for Royal. 1 point Texan lead. Almost 4 minutes into the game. Ball lost by Tough Can 2. Back comes Wimberley. Schletter. Pass out front. And a three-pointer is down for Jackson Watts, his second from deep. Watts at a double-double. Last time these two met 2 weeks ago. 11 points and 10 assists. 6 points in the quarter for Watts on a couple of made threes. Winters, answer three. No. Rebound Schletter for Wimberley, who was a first-team All-District player a year ago. Another open three. Solid miss from the outside. Here comes Kenyon Lake, trailing by 4. Pauly from the corner. His second three. Couple of threes here in the first for Tyler Pauly. Candy Lake back to within 1. Trying to even up the season series and pick up their 5th win of the year. Rebound tap by McMullen to Johnson. Back comes Kenyon Lake the other way. Winters on the attack, lost it. Trying to get it back, and the ball will go back to Wimberley. Look at a tough year for Kenyon Lake. Just 4 wins this season after winning 15 games a year ago. Tied for the second most in team history. Really tough district. Wimberley, a playoff team. And a couple of top 25 teams as well in the district in Bernie and Fredericksburg. Good head fake and finish from Josh Limely. The senior off the bench, his first basket. 3-point Texan lead. Winters trying to tie the game as the ball goes over the backboard and back to the Texans. Mentioned the last meeting, Wimberley won 91-52. Tough floater for Watts, and the Hawks have the rebound. In transition, they attack off the glass. Bucket good for Caleb Shemenk. The senior getting some floor time, hasn't played a lot this year. That was just his 4th field goal of the season. Open look at a 3. Limely, no. And Matt Taliaferro has the rebound for Kenyon Lake. Hawks playing for the lead now. Pauly from long distance, that's his 3rd. Tyler Pauly hits a 3, and the Texans call for time. 30-second timeout taken by the Texans. And Tyler Pauly is feeling it here in the opening quarter. 3 threes for Pauly. And already 9 points to the game and a 2-point Canyon Lake lead. Brought up that meeting between the two weeks ago, won by Wimberley, scoring 91 points. That was a season high for the Texans. For the Hawks offensively, they're averaging about 53 points a game. That is the second highest per game average in school history. The issue for the Hawks this year has been getting defensive stops. They're surrendering 76 points a game, and that is the most in team history. The previous high was 14 points per game fewer, 62. Out of the timeout called by Wimberley and their second-year head coach Mike Whitten. Hawks on top by 2. 2 minutes to go in the first. At home this year, the Hawks 2-10. Texans on the road 2-7. Winters got a hand on it. Saved though by Watts. Ball loose, and Watts gets it back. And the Texans reset the offense, trailing by 2. And then a reach and foul listed against Canyon Lake. That's the third team foul against Canyon Lake, first called against Colton Winters. And the Texans, who are playing for a second straight win and for their 5th win in the last 6 games, will inbound. Canyon Lake staying in the zone defense. Texans, good offense, good passing. Royal to finish. And we're tied at 15. 5 of the quarter for Cade Royal. Long 3, Winters right down the chute. '71st made 3 this season for Colton Winters. That's the new program record. Final minutes ago here in the first quarter. 3-point Canyon Lake lead. Another touch pass down low. That time Royal can't finish. Trying to clean up his own mess. And gets hammered by Taliaferro, and Cade Royal will go to the free throw line. Entertaining first quarter here between these two rivals, and the Hawks a much better start tonight than what they had against Wimberley 2 weeks ago. First of 2, rim zap for Cade Royal. The Texans as a team in that overtime win over Fredericksburg on Saturday were 11 of 16 from the line. And Royal an empty trip. Remains a 3-point Canyon Lake lead. Pauly into Taliaferro, and he stepped out of bounds. Wimberley gets it back with 38 seconds to go. A team that's tied for second in what is a very tough 28-4 district. Pass stolen, taken away by Shemank. Up ahead to Winters. Hawks can play for the final shot if they choose here with 20 seconds to go. Pauly, a long 3, almost banked it in. The Texans have the rebound. Limely nearly had the ball stripped. Turns it over anyway. On the travel. Another Texan turnover. They committed a season-high 31 turnovers in the win over the Billies a few nights ago. 6 seconds left. Winters, long 3. Is good. Colton Winters at the first quarter buzzer. Drills a 30-footer. And what a start of this game for Canyon Lake. It's raining 3s inside of Hawk Gym as Canyon Lake has built a 21-15 lead at the end of 1 in Fisher.
Everything's better with puppies.
Let the puppy ball begin.
In a brand new stadium, see teams rough and fluff face off in the ultimate gridiron contest.
That's a touchdown.
Puppy Bowl 17, Sunday, February 7th at 2 on Animal Planet.
Watch Animal Planet, GVTC, Channel 552.
It's every school. The dedication, the passion, the preparation.
1, 2, 3,
every game, every day.
It's all been built up. Now it's time to play.
And it only happens here. Every play, every run. It's every pass and score. It's everything you love, and it's everything we live for. This is big. Only on Big Ten Network.
What a first quarter was for seniors Colton Winters and Tyler Pauley. The two hitting 5 3-pointers, 3 for Pauley, 2 for Winters, combining for 17 points as the Hawks have built a 6-point lead as we start the second quarter. And again, Winters now 72 made threes this season. That's a new program record. He led the Hawks in scoring the last time these two met with 17 against the Texans 2 weeks ago. Looking for another 3. Pendleton has the rebound. And now an open 3 for Shemank. Yes! Caleb Shemank, his second made 3 of the season. And the Hawks on top by 9, their largest lead tonight. There are times that the Hawks can get really hot from 3. They've made 10 or more threes 4 times this year, to include a program record 14 and a win over Lano back on December the 1st. They have hit 6 threes in this game already. Early on in the second quarter, Winters hunting for another. And Royal has the rebound for Wimberley. Right now the Hawks in the midst of an 11-0 run. Schletter, the younger Schletter brother, off in the 3. Wimberley will keep it. Miles Schletter, the sophomore, his brother Ethan, the senior. And Miles was a thorn in the Hawks' side 2 weeks ago, scoring a season-high 21 back in January the 30th. He led the team in the win over Fredericksburg on Saturday with 15 points, all of his scoring coming from beyond the arc as Wimberley turns it over again. A little more than 1 minute gone by in the second. A lot of momentum right now for Kenyon Lake. A team that has won 1 district game, and it came by a single point over the newcomer Davenport. Hawks playing inspired basketball tonight. Shemank, Pauley, another 3, another hit. Tyler Pauley's 4th from deep. 14-0 Hawks run. What a night it's been for Tyler Pauley. With almost 3 entire quarters to go. Schletter lost the ball. Taken away by Winters. Pauley to the rack. Timeout, Texans. Inspired play by the seniors here at Canyon Lake. 14 of the game already for Tyler Pauley. What a remarkable start to this game for the Hawks. A 14-point lead on a 16-0 run. Hawks head coach Lucas Chapman in his 9th season talking to his team right now. You look at what he's built here at Canyon Lake. Wasn't that long ago that his Hawks set a program record for wins of the season with 16. That was 4 years ago. Canyon Lake had a streak of 4 straight years reaching the postseason. That streak came to an end barely a year ago. And with the team out of playoff contention this year, it is the first time since 2013 and 14 that the Hawks have gone back-to-back years without making the playoffs. So Coach Chapman has built a team, a program, which has been a postseason regular. It's been a tough season, yes, but in this, their final week of the season here in 2020 and 21, making sure his team is playing hard down the stretch, and they're doing that tonight. 16-0 run dating back to the first quarter, and the Hawks have scored the first 8 points here of the second. Tough shot. Jackson Watts, and fouled on the way up. Free throws on the way here for Watts. 15 foul against Kenya Lake. This one called against Peyton McMullen, his first. Watts, a 55% free throw shooter all in the year, and connects on the first. He has 7. Watts hit a couple of threes himself back in the first quarter, and knocks them both down. That ends a 16-0 run by Kenya Lake. Pauly to Winters, a 3, short this time. And Devin Latz has the rebound for the Texans, trying to cut into a 12-point lead. Schletter from the baseline, his first bucket tonight. Averaging more than 12 points a game, the Texans' top scorer. He had 30 the last time these two played each other, 3 shy of tying a career high. Winters travels. So a couple of defensive stops, back-to-back Hawk possessions for the Texans. And a chance to cut into this lead and make it single digits. Coming up in 5 minutes to go in the first half. Royal got free. McMullen then hammers Royal after the offensive rebound, and that will send Royal to the foul line again for attempts 5 and 6 here tonight. And he has now missed 4 straight from the foul line. Royal, the Texans' 4th leading scorer and their 2nd leading rebounder, has reached double figures 8 times this season, but has yet to do it in district play. Goes 1 of 2. He has 6 here tonight. Winters lost the ball, taken away by Sullen. Texans the other way. In transition, layup won't go. But another journey to the free throw line coming up for Wimberley. 17 foul against Kenya Lake, first against Tough Cantu. Latz, a 59% free throw shooter. Looking for his first point of the night, coming off a 6.5 rebound effort in the win over the Billies on Saturday. Goes 1 of 2. And the Texans have responded to the Hawks' 16-0 run with a 6-0 run of their own. And then another Kenya Lake turnover. Sullen off of a 3. Rebound won by Latz. Finds Schletter. His 3 is in. Ethan Schletter from distance. He has 5, all coming here in the second quarter. And now a 9-0 Texan run. Loose ball, whistle, and a foul against Wimberley. Or no, it's against Kenya Lake. And that is the 18th foul, so the 1-and-1 coming up here for Wimberley. Foul against Cantu is 2nd. And the 1-and-1 for Schletter. Earns himself 1 more. 71% for the line this year. As Kenya Lake calls for timeout, the Texans are responding with a big run of their own here in the second quarter. After the Hawks had built a 14-point lead, that lead is down to 4. With 4 minutes and change left here in the first half. Oh, look at that last 3 from Ethan Schletter. Coming off a 10-point night in the win over Wimberley on Saturday. Again, the Hawks have just 1 game left. It'll come against Fredericksburg on Friday. Hawks got out to a bang in this game here tonight. A barrage of three-pointers. 7 for the Hawks already here tonight. But they've since cooled off, mainly because of turnovers. As Schletter lines up the second of 2 free throws. And he's good on both. 7 in the quarter for Schletter. And that Hawks 14-point lead has been sliced out of 3. All the way in, Cantu. Call for the charge. Texan bench fired up. And Wimberley can now make this a 1-point game or tie it with a basket here. They have scored 11 straight. But then the Hawks force a turnover. Ball deflected by Adrian Duke. Candy Lake trying to stop the bleeding. Winters. Floaters off. Taliaferro can't corral the rebound. Here comes Wimberley. Schletter for the tie. No. And Cantu has the rebound for Candy Lake. Here comes Tyler Pauly. Pauly all the way to the cup. Taliaferro, the stick back. First points tonight for the senior. And the Hawks finally end that run by Wimberley. So the two teams have exchanged big runs. The Hawks a 16-0. The Hawks at 11-0, or the Texans rather, an 11-0 run. And more free throws coming up here for Wimberley. 9th team foul, make it the 10th, I beg your pardon. It's against Taliaferro, his second, so the Texans in the double bonus from here on out in the first half. As Watts good on the free throw. Another one here, and that'll put him in double figures. He has 10. Lead for the Hawks back down to 3. With 3 minutes to go until halftime. Winters off the screen. And the officials say that the ball was deflected. So we'll stay with Canyon Lake on a block shot for Wimberley. Pauly able to get it into Cantu. Pauly puts up another 3. Off target. Ball last touched by Taliaferro. And the Texans will get it back. Texans 13 wins this season. They're looking for their second straight tonight, and their 6th win of the last 7 games. This after a tough stretch to start district play. Watts off into 3. Hawks the other way. In the corner. Duke. Yes. Adrian Duke a 3. 17th 3 for him this year. The Hawks 8-3 of the game. Back at his 6-point lead. Schletter the miss, but the putback rattled in by Cade Royal. 8 in the game for Royal. Back and forth we go. 4-point Hawk lead. Here's Pauly. Duke wasn't ready for the pass, and then he stepped out of bounds. Basketball back to Wimberley. Again, the Texans playing for their 2nd straight win tonight and for a season series sweep over Canyon Lake. It would be their 5th straight win in the series. Sullivan got free underneath. Sutton, I beg your pardon. 4 in the game for Sutton. 2-point Canyon Lake lead. Winters, the drive, the floater drops home. For Colton Winters, he has 10. Second Hawk in double figures. Tyler Pauly leads all scores with 14. Sutton misses inside. Pendleton has the rebound for the Hawks. Up ahead, Winters ahead of the pack. Got hammered by Schletter. And that will send Colton Winters to the free throw line. That is the second team foul and the second personal against Ethan Schletter. something to watch if you're head coach Mike Whitten for Wimberley. On the year, Winters a 61% free throw shooter. We'll get one more. Winters coming off a 20-point game against Davenport on Friday. 7th game this year with 20 points or more. Splits the 2 free throws. In fact, you scored 29 twice this season. Not far from the single-game record set by Caleb Krieger, who scored 35 for Kenyon Lake. Final minute of the half, a steal for Duke. Duke the other way, a chance for a 3-point play. Quality minutes off the bench tonight for Adrian Duke. Got hammered by Schletter. Good anticipation by Duke. And then the mistake by the younger Schletter. Raked him across the face. As Duke misses a free throw. 7-point Hawk lead. 50 seconds to go in the half. Little Euro step floater misfired by Watts, but got his own miss. Schletter a 3 for the outside. And Pauly has the rebound for Kenyon Lake. Hawks attack in transition. Winters hits again. 3rd 3 for Colton Winters. 9th 3 of the half for Kenyon Lake. Hawks back in front by double figures. 20 seconds to go in the second. Sutton works it back out. Watts off the screen. Final 10 seconds now. Ball knocked away, taken away. What a first half it has been for Tyler Pauly. 16 of the first half of the senior. And the Hawks have built a 12-point lead as we hit the halftime locker rooms. Tyler Pauly, 16. Colton Winters, a big half as well. He put up 14. Those two, a 30-point first half, as the Hawks hold a 44-32 lead at the break on the Hawks Network.
Everything's better with puppies.
Let the puppy ball begin.
In a brand new stadium, see teams rough and fluff face off in the ultimate gridiron contest.
That's a touchdown.
Puppy Bowl 17, Sunday, February 7th at 2 on Animal Planet.
Watch Animal Planet, GVTC, Channel 552.
It's every school. The dedication, the passion, the preparation.
1, 2, 3,
Every game, every day.
It's all been built up. Now it's time to play.
And it only happens here. Every play, every run. It's every pass and score. It's everything you love, and it's everything we live for. This is big. Only on Big Ten Network.
Pack is back
I'm ready for round 2.
with more adventures.
Ready? Go.
Bigger appetite. Join him and his friends as they rid Pack World of those nefarious ghosts.
Time to gobble some goblins.
Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. Saturday at 10 a.m. on Discovery Family.
I'm Andrew Zimmern, and we're showcasing the unique cuisines that put the tastiest locations on the map.
There's a story on every corner.
From hot spices in Asia, it is good, to exotic seasonings in Africa.
I've never had anything like this before.
It's a celebration of life.
Bizarre Foods, Delicious Destinations, Monday at 10. Cooking Channel, stay hungry.
Watch Cooking Channel, GVTC, Channel 127.
Oh, yes. Boobs.
I got a few more obstacles. Much better.
Hit it, Enzo.
Arrivederci. Buongiorno.
Wheeler Dealers, new episodes Tuesdays at 9 on Motor Trend.
got some things to get off my chest, so I'm going to go ahead and kick this one off. Receivers, notoriously divas, we know that. You really gonna say that as a player? How many footballs are on the field at one time? Carry the two, remain one.
Speak for yourself. Weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on FS1.
Watch FS1, GVTC, channel 515.
The Maine Cabin Master's main motto. Yeah. Work hard. Work harder. In any weather. Any weather.
Just another day in the life of Maine Cabin Masters.
On an all-new Maine Cabin Masters, Monday night at 9, only on DIY Network.
Watch DIY, GVTC, channel 126.
First things first, sports fans.
Check and check.
Nick, he knows a thing or two.
You just can't get it.
And Brandon, well, he's done a thing or two.
Oh, my goodness, look at this.
All those things you love.
LeBron, Mahomes, Cam Newton, Kawhi, Tom Brady.
They might love even more.
We are going to dive right in.
So make this your first play of the day. First things first, mornings on FS1.
Watch FS1, GVTC, channel 515.
One small town, two big dreamers.
I love it!
To be a part of something like this, wow! Helping restore people's lives.
I can't think of anything that I would love more than what we're doing. This is beautiful. It's a great honor for us.
All new Hometown, Sunday at 8 on HGTV.
Watch HGTV, GVTC, channel 578.
Welcome to the Masked Dancer. I told you I had a feeling about this one.
Make no mistake, you can dance.
Who's there?
You have some swag.
Who is that?
Oh!
Who are you?
The guessing just got harder. The Masked Dancer. Wednesdays on Fox or watch anytime on these platforms.
When you're looking for gold, it fights you at every turn. Cave-ins.
Just went out. Let's get out of here.
Air problems.
Why?
Bring up.
There's just a little more to this story than what you think.
It seems like every time we make some progress, something else steps up and starts fighting us.
Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch. New Fridays at 10 on Discovery.
Watch Discovery, GVTC, channel 554.
It's every school. The dedication, the passion, the preparation.
1, 2, 3,
every game, every day.
It's all been built up. Now it's time to play.
And it only happens here. Every play, every run. It's every pass and score. It's everything you love. And it's everything we live for. This is big. Only on Big Ten Network.
Is back.
I'm ready for round 2.
With more adventures.
Right now, I got a ghost in my...
More power-ups. And an even bigger appetite. Join him and his friends as they rid Packworld of those nefarious ghosts.
Time to gobble some goblins.
Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. Saturday at 10 a.m. on Discovery Family.
I'm Andrew Zimmer, and we're showcasing the unique cuisines that put the tastiest locations on the map.
There's a story on every corner.
From hot spices in Asia, it is good, to exotic seasonings in Africa.
I've never had anything like this before.
It's a celebration of life.
Bizarre Foods, Delicious Destinations, Monday at 10. Cooking Channel, stay hungry.
Watch Cooking Channel, GVTC, channel 127.
Oh, yes. Boom. I got a few more obstacles. Much better.
Hit it, Enzo. Arrivederci. Buongiorno.
Wheeler Dealers. New episodes Tuesdays at 9 on Motor Trend.
I got some things to get off my chest, so I'm going to go ahead and kick this one off. Receivers, notoriously divas, we know that. You really gonna say that as a player? How many footballs are on the field at one time?
Carried it 2. Remaining 1.
Speak for yourself. Weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on FS1.
Watch FS1, GVTC, channel 515.
The main cabin master's main motto. Yeah. Work hard. Work harder. In any weather. Any weather.
Just another day in the life of main cabin masters.
On an all-new Main Cabin Masters, Monday night at 9, only on DIY Network.
Watch DIY, GVTC, channel 126.
First things first, sports fans.
Check and check.
Nick, he knows a thing or two.
You just can't get it.
And Brandon, well, he's done a thing or two.
Oh, my goodness. Look at this.
All those things you love.
LeBron, Mahomes, Cam Newton, Kawhi, Tom Brady.
They might love even more.
We are going to dive right in.
So make this your first play of the day. First things first, mornings on FS1.
Watch FS1, GVTC, channel 515.
And we're ready to start the second half. What a first half it was for Kenyon Lake. On top of the end of 2 quarters, 44-32. Big first half for both Tyler Pauly and Colton Winters with 16 and 14 points respectively for Kenyon Lake. The Hawks were also red hot from three-point range. Kenyon Lake hitting 9 3-pointers in the first half. And that's just 5 away from tying a program record, which they set earlier this year, 2 months ago. And a double dribble called against Jackson Watts to start the second half for Wimberley. Watts was the Texans' top scorer in the first half with 10. Cade Royal had 8, and Ethan Schletter had 7. Bio Schletter, who scored 21 against the Hawks 2 weeks ago, was scoreless in the first half. Good look at his shot. Pendleton, though, couldn't finish. Here come the Texans. And again, the first half was a half of runs. The Hawks had a 16-0 run, bridging the first and second quarters into the second quarter on a 10-0 run. And at one point, Wimberley had an 11-0 run of its own. Here's Pauly. Kept control of his dribble. Finds a shooter. Can't two from the outside. No. Ball last touched by Zane Sutton, and the Hawks will keep it. Again, the Hawks angling for their 5th win of the year and for the 2nd win in district play. Trying to even up the season series. Pauly, who hit 4 threes in the first half, misfires there. As Peyton McMullen is whistled for the over the back. First team foul against the Hawks in the second half, but the 3rd personal against McMullen, who had 15 rebounds in the game against Davenport on Friday. 8 times he's led the Hawks in rebounding this year. Pendleton has had a rebound for Kenyon Lake. Neither team has scored into the 3rd quarter, a little more than a minute in. McMullen hits a turnaround. Cade Royal, his defender, fell down. Texans were hoping for an offensive foul call as McMullen has the basket. 14-point Kenyon Lake lead, ties their largest tonight. Schletter from the outside. That's his 2nd 3. Schletter has 10. And that ends a 12-0 Kenyon Lake run. Pauly lost the dribble. Winters trying to save it. Instead, a Kenyon Lake turnover. As Caleb Shabank re-enters the game for Kenyon Lake, McMullen sits down with his 3 personal fouls. 11-point Hawks lead. 2 minutes have expired here in the 3rd quarter. High-scoring first half between these two. Pocket pass inside. Sutton, the missed floater, but a foul on Kenyon Lake. 2nd team foul against the Hawks, and more free throws coming up for Wimberley. And they're going to get Pendleton on the foul. That's his second. And Sutton, who's 2-2 from the line here tonight, working on a 4-point game. Short on the first. This is the 18th free throw attempt of the game for Wimberley, as Sutton splits the pair. The Hawks have only attempted 5. 10-point game, 5:40 to go in the third. Missed 3 by Cantu. Texans have the rebound, a chance to make it a single-digit game. Watts for 3. Off target, rebound. Royal rattles home. 10 of the game for Royal. And the Texans have cut this 14-point lead down to 8. 6-0 Wimberley run. Defender falls down. Schemenkel almost lost the basketball. Out of bounds, last touched by Wimberley. As Matt Taliaferro is back in for Kenyon Lake. Pass deflected and stolen. Sutton for the Texans has it. Sutton all the way in. Shot blocked from behind, but Royal's there to clean it up. A game of runs, right? Another one for Wimberley. 8-0 Texan run as Pauly draws a foul. He thought he was in the act of shooting, but they'll say it happened on the floor. First team foul against Wimberley, first personal against Zane Sutton. 6-point game, 3 minutes gone by in the third as Cantu turns it over. This has been a red-hot Texan team as of late. Coming off a thrilling win over Fredericksburg in overtime on Saturday. They won 5 of 6. Jump pass into Royal. Draws Taliaferro into the air. And another trip at the foul line coming up for Wimberley. So good ball movement here tonight by the Texans. They're averaging about 12 assists a game. Their season high in assists came against Kenyon Lake 2 weeks ago with 21, as Royal is good on the first free throw. $13 of the game for Cade Royal. Make it 14. By the way, the last foul against Taliaferro is his third. 10-0 Texan run, 14-point lead down to 4. Pauly into the corner. Duke travels. And the Texans get it back with a chance to make it a one-possession game. Taliaferro will sit down as the Hawks call for timeout. Elijah Johnson back in for Kenyon Lake. Talking more about this Texan program, coming off a 15-win season from a year ago and a third-place finish in the 28-4A district. That was the second straight year that Wimberley had finished with a record at 500. Their last winning season came 3 years ago. That year, Wimberley won 20 games and finished a perfect 10-0 in district play, reaching the region quarterfinals. That was also the last time the Texans won a playoff game. Last year, they lost in the first round to Taylor. With Coach Mike Whitten leading the way again in year 2 of Wimberley. He was previously the head coach at Lehman, played college basketball at Concordia University back in the early 2000s. Texans have scored the last 10 unanswered. Nearly halfway through this third quarter. Tough shot, floater won't bounce in for Watts, and the Hawks have the rebound, getting a defensive stop. Pauly inside, Johnson shot blocked from behind by Royal. Good defensive play for Wimberley. Open three, Sutton from the corner. Zane Sutton hits a 3, and the lead is down to 1. 13-0 Texan run. Back and forth we go from Hawk Gym. Pauly, call for the offensive foul. Royal, another defensive play for Wimberley. And the Texans can now play for the first lead since it was 15-13. Schletter fakes a three, long two instead. Rebound off the weak side for Shemank. Ball stripped and stolen away by Latz. Inside Sutton, the Texans are on top. 10 of the game for Zane Sutton. 15-0, Wimberley run. Coming up on 3 minutes to go in the third. As Pauly draws a foul against Jackson Watts. First personal against Watts, second on the team in the second half as Tough Cantu is back in for Canyon Lake. Coach Chapman looking on from the sidelines. His team trying to pick up a win on senior night. Another foul against Jackson Watts. That's his second. Team's third. Hawks trying to end this Wimberley run and end their own personal scoring drought. Pauly, long three. Kind of a heat check shot there for Pauly, who has made 4 threes tonight. Tough floater, rebound, put back good. Watts followed his own miss. 12 in the game for Watts. 17-0 run, ends there. On a Winters three, that's his fourth. 17 to the game for Colton Winters, and we are tied at 49. 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Schletter finds Royal free underneath for a lay-in. 8 in the corner for Royal, 16 to the game. Texans back in front. Pauly puts the ball on the deck. Runs over defender, no call. Johnson there with a loose ball. We are tied again at 51. First basket tonight for Elijah Johnson. Entertaining Tuesday night here from Hawk Gym. And a reaching foul called against Colton Winters. Team's fifth. For Winters, his second. Again, Wimberley won this game going away just 2 weeks ago. But the Hawks are hanging tough here tonight. They've led on a majority of the game. Tied now at 51. Late stages, third quarter. Watts hits the pull-up. Jackson Watts has 14. Texans back in front. 90 seconds to go in the third. Winters had it stripped, got it back. Cantu call for the charge. Another charge drawn by Cade Royal. Playing some really good defense in the paint here in the third quarter for Wimberley. Royals had a big impact here tonight. His first double-figure scoring game in district play on top of all the defense. Here he is again. Pass deflected by Shemank. It stays with the Texans. Adrian Duke back in. Tough Cantu will sit down. (53-51) Wimberley. Watts, the floater, rattles home. Big quarter for Jackson Watts as well. 4-point Texan lead. Pauly misses the runner, got it back. Now lines one up from the corner. Fouled, shooting a three and a chance for a 4-point play. What a night for Tyler Pauly, his fifth from deep. And took a hard foul too. Schletter late closing in. That is the third personal against Ethan Schletter, fourth on the team. And Pauly ties the game. .20 night for Tyler Pauly. And we are tied at 55. Final 40 seconds of the third. Schletter. Into Royal. Royal got Taliaferro up. And able to score off the glass. 10 of the quarter for Cade Royal. 2-point Texan lead. Pauly. The miss. Schletter has the rebound. The Texans have scored 25 points in the third quarter. They have come to life. As Schletter draws a reaching foul, it's against Tyler Pauly. Or no, it is an offensive foul against Schletter. That's his fourth. That's trouble for Wimberley. Team foul number 4 against the Texans. And Coach Witten will have to go to the bench and take Schletter out. Josh Limely in his place. Final seconds of the third. Pauly on the take, the step back to three, no. And we will go to the fourth quarter. Rivalry game, and it's heating up here at Hawk Gym. At the end of 3, the Texans clinging to a 57-55 lead. Fourth quarter coming up after this on the Hawks Network.
It's every school. The dedication, the passion, the preparation.
1, 2, 3,
every game, every day.
It's all been built up. Now it's time to play.
And it only happens here. Every play, every run. It's every pass and score. It's everything you love, and it's everything we live for. This is big. Only on Big Ten Network.
Pack is back.
I'm ready for round 2.
With more adventures.
Right now, I got a ghost in my...
More power-ups. And an even bigger appetite. Join him and his friends as they rid Packworld of those nefarious ghosts.
Time to gobble some goblins.
Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. Saturday at 10 a.m. on Discovery Family.
A big third quarter for Wimberley, outscoring Canyon Lake in the third, 25-11. And the Texans take a 2-point lead into the fourth quarter. The final 8 minutes of regulation at Hawk Gym this season. Final home game of the year for Canyon Lake, and trying to send their seniors off on a winning note. And again, the 2 seniors, the headline is 7 senior group. Colton Winters and Tyler Pauly, big night. Pauly's got 20, Winters has 17. As we start the fourth quarter, and the Texans on top by 2. Winters from the corner. Rebound corralled by Royal. Royal's had a big game for Wimberley, 18 points, scored 10 in the third quarter alone. But a big story for Wimberley is that Ethan Schletter, their top scorer this season, has 4 personal fouls. Got a whistle underneath. And the ball is staying with Wimberley. Again, the game has been physical at points. And they do get Duke in the foul there. That's his first for the team 7, so the 1-1 coming up for the Texans. Limely, the shooter, 45% this season. Earns himself 1 more. Goes 1 of 2. Royal has the rebound, shot blocked by McMullen. McMullen has been the Hawks' top shot blocker this year, but then Limely a steal against McMullen. Can't lay it in. Rebound tapped out, saved by Pauly. Here come the Hawks down by 3. Duke Lost the handle and then travels. Didn't catch the pass cleanly. Had he done so, may have lined up an open look at a three. (58-55) Texans. 1 minute gone by in the fourth. Latz to Limely, shot swatted away by McMullen. Ball stripped and saved by Sutton for the Texans. Ball inside, knocked away by McMullen. Here comes Kenyon Lake. Another strip, but this time a reaching foul whistled against Cole Schroeder of Wimberley. That's his first and the team's sixth. Now you see here, Schroeder got some of the right arm of Pauly. The Hawks not quite in the bonus yet, so they'll inbound here, trailing by 3. Into McMullen. He lost the handle. Able to get it back. Now it's Duke, and Duke draws a foul, and that will lead to the 1-and-1. Foul against Devin Latz. His first. Duke from the line this year, 52%. First free throw, make it his second free throw attempt tonight. He's 0 of 1 so far this evening. They'll say he was in the act of shooting, though. Nobody was going for the rebound there. So one more coming up for Duke. A chance to make it a 1-point game. 58-57 with 6.5 left here in regulation. Again, these two played to overtime in this building last year. The Texans just played it overtime on Saturday. Limely a big three from the corner. He made 3 threes against Fredericksburg in that overtime win this past weekend. McMullen from the top. Hasn't hit many threes this year. Just 3 of them. Misfires there. And then a steal by McMullen on a bad pass. Here's Pauly the other way to the rim and lays it in. 22 for Tyler Pauly. 2-point Texan lead. A little more than 2 minutes gone by here in the fourth quarter. 61-59. Latz open jumper. No. Rebound McMullen, and then a tie-up. Force between McMullen and Latz. And on the alternating possession arrow, the Texans will keep it. The younger Schletter back into the game. Miles, his older brother Ethan with 4 fouls, still on the bench. Into Schletter, catch and shoot 3. No. Rebound though, Jackson Watts puts it back over McMullen and scores. Tough shot for Watts. He has 18 to the game after a 4-point Texan lead. Winters trying to save it in and does, and then a foul called against Miles Schletter, his second, team's 8th. And the 1-and-1 here for Kenyon Lake. It's Shemank, who's not attempted a free throw this season. First one is good. So Shemank earns 1 more. 6 points here for Caleb Shemank tonight, who had scored 7 points all season. Doesn't get a kindly roll that time. 3-point game with more than 5 minutes to go. Schletter from the corner. Hits the heel of the iron to the 3, and the Hawks have the rebound. Pauly, bounce pass taken away by Limely. Here come the Texans the other way. Ball stripped by Adrian Duke. Good defensive hustle play there by the sophomore Duke. So the Texans will inbound, leading by 3 with 5 minutes to go in the game. Into Schroeder. at the point right now for Wimberley against this Kenya Lake 2-3 zone defense. Texans once trailed by 14, leading by 3. Shot in the lane is good for Jackson Watts. He has 20. 5-point Texan lead. Pauly into McMullen. Off the glass, and instead of a chance for a 3-point play, we'll go to the line for 2. Hawks need some points on this trip as Wimberley's built a 2-possession lead. McMullen from the line this year, 73%. The Hawks' best foul shooter. Cuts the lead down to 4. 5 points the game now for McMullen. As Zane Sutton comes back in for the Texans. Goes 1 of 2. 4-point game, 4 minutes, 25 seconds left. Texans playing for a season series sweep. Hawks trying to end a 5-game skid. Tough floater goes down the chute for Josh Limely. He has 6 in the fourth quarter. Big points off the bench for the Texans. 6-point Wimberley lead. Pauly, long 3, just short. Ball last touched by McMullen, and the Texans get it back. Coach Chapman calling for a timeout. He'll get it. With 4 minutes to go, Wimberley was down 46-32. Since then, they've outscored the Hawks 35-15. Big turnaround here for Wimberley. But the Hawks still within striking distance. And again, they're getting some really solid defensive plays here tonight, especially from their top shot blocker, Peyton McMullen. McMullen with some big blocks here in the fourth quarter. Again, 31 blocks coming into the game tonight for Peyton McMullen. 6 most in a single season in team history. Another senior having a big senior night. You look at the big contributions the Hawks have gotten tonight, and it's come from the senior class. 17 points the game for Colton Winters, 22 for Tyler Pauly. McMullen on top of the blocks has scored 5 points himself. Caleb Shemank, who hasn't played a lot this year, has scored 7 points, matching his season total. And Matt Taliaferro's had some nice moments here tonight as well. Inspired effort here from Kenya Lake. But right now the Hawks trailing by 6 with 4 minutes left. Needing to dig deep as they try to pick up their 5th win of the season. Schletter short on the 3, and Pauly has an important rebound for Kenya Lake. With 3:40 to go. Finds Winters cutting down low on the reverse. Can't finish. And back come the Texans. Watts. Euro step and draws a reaching foul. That is the Hawks' 8th team foul. This will lead to the 1-and-1. Unless they say Watts was in the act of shooting. He is 4-4 from the line tonight. This for a 55% free throw shooter on the year. And he was in the act of shooting. And now Watts, 21 points in the game. Good on both. Big night tonight for the senior Jackson Watts. 8-point Wimberley lead. Hawks need some buckets here with 3 minutes left. Winters open look at a 3. Short. Texans the other way. A free path to the basket for Zane Sutton, who has a dozen and a 10-point Texan lead. Once down 14, it's a 24-point turnaround. Pauly in the lane. Rolls around and drops through for Pauly, who has 24. A much-needed basket for Kenya Lake. And then the Texans turn it over on forced error against Wimberley. And now Ethan Sletter is back in as his younger brother Miles sits down. Remember, Sletter came out due to foul trouble in the third quarter. He has 4 personals. Basket here by Kenya Lake makes it a 2-possession game. Pauly, the drive, a whistle and a foul. And that's Sletter, that's his 5th. It's not, it's called against Zane Sutton, his 2nd. And here's Pauly for 2 big free throws. A 68% shooter this season. Misfires in the first. One more coming up for Pauly. A 24-point night for the senior. Goes 1 of 2. 7-point game with 2:35 left. Hawks need another defensive stop. Watts into the corner. Sletter fakes a 3. Inside. And Limely draws a foul. And again, Limely's been really big in this 4th quarter for Wimberley. 6 points in the quarter off the bench. And the first of 2 won't fall for Limely. Now 1 of 3 from the line tonight. He'll get 1 more. Texans led by 2 at the end of 3. It's now an 8-point lead with 2:20 to play. Winters on the drive. Tough shot wouldn't fall. Texans have the rebound. Trying to pull away. Watts into the lane. Finds a cutter. Lats the finish for Wimberley. 10-point Texan lead. Hawks have little room for error now. McMullen on the take, a chance for a 3-point play, and the Hawks needed that. Now 7 of the game for Peyton McMullen. His athletic career winding down at Kenya Lake. Again, this is his final home game on the basketball court. Also a quarterback for Charlie Drum's football team. Here for the Hawks. Trying to complete a 3-point play here. And can't. A shot the Hawks really could have used. Remains an 8-point Wimberley lead. Minute 45 to go. Jump pass nearly taken away by Cantu. Watch the jumper. Maybe ill-advised there, but the putback, that won't go for Royal, and the Hawks get a stop. Again, Wimberley kind of rushed its offense there. The clock is their friend. Winters catch and shoot 3. Just short. Watch the rebound. Here come the Texans either way. Leading by 8, minute 20 left. And a timeout taken by Coach Mike Whitten. With a minute 17 to go. Again, the Hawks looking to pick up their 2nd district win of the season. The only one came against Davenport back on January 19th. Now the Hawks came out firing tonight, led by a dozen at the end of the first half, 44-32. The offense has slowed down a little bit here in the second half. But it has been a marquee night tonight for this senior class for Kenya Lake. Again, Tyler Pauly, big game for Kenya Lake. Pauly with 25 tonight, and Colton Winters has 17. Winters has hit 4 threes. Pauly has hit 5 himself. The two of them almost single-handedly carrying the Hawks throughout the game. But now Kenya Lake is in dire straits, trailing by 8 with a minute 17 left. As Coach Chapman breaks the huddle. If you're Wimberley, you don't have to rush a shot here. Inbound to Watts into the backcourt. Watts all the way to the rim, lays it in. What a game for Jackson Watts. 8 here in the fourth quarter, 24 in the game. Back out to a 10-point lead. Duque a 3, good. His second for the outside. Cuts the lead down to 7 with 58.4 seconds to go. Pauly, good assist out to Duque, left open for the 3. And Duque has 10 tonight. And with that 3, now 18 3-point makes for Duque this year. Talked a lot about the senior class in terms of players coming back. Duque is one of them. The sophomore could be a big factor for the Hawks this time next year. And when Candy Lake will be looking to get back into the postseason, the Hawks out of contention as we hit the final week of the regular season. But the Hawks, again, for the last 5 years have been in the conversation for the playoffs. Just barely missed a year ago, ending a streak of 4 straight years in the postseason. Out of the timeout, 58 seconds left. 76-69, Wimberley. Latz to inbound. Into Schletter, back to Latz. And then Latz travels. Well, the Hawks catch a break there. In a position where a basket here makes it a 2-possession game. Whether that's a 2 or a 3. But again, the Hawks need a field goal. Down 7. Pauly, long 3. Way off, and the Texans have the rebound. Almost turn it over again. And they do. Another travel called against Wimberley. So the Hawks, again, maybe didn't get the shot they wanted while Pauly's been hot. That was a really long 3. But get the basketball back. 42 seconds to go, down 7. Can't use too much time, and they need a bucket. Duque on the drive. Winters. And he's called for a travel. So 10 seconds went off the clock. Hawks couldn't score, still down by 7. Inbound to Watts. Down the lane, Watts lays it in. 26-point game for Jackson Watts. Pauly just short of the 3. Rebound Sellers off the glass, puts it back in with 14 seconds to go. 78-71, Wimberley on top. Tough for the Hawks to make up this kind of deficit with so little time left in the game. But again, this has been a valiant effort tonight for Coach Chapman's basketball team. Hawks will wrap up the regular season on the road on Friday. This is their final home game of the year. They won a couple of games here this season. One of those, a memorable win over Llano back on December the 1st. 29 points that night for Colton Winters. Tyler Pauly set a team record that night with 11 assists in the win then over the Yellow Jackets. Speaking of Pauly's, to see him there on the end of the bench, second team All-District last year. And this is his final home game, and it has been quite a send-off for Pauly, 25 points, but it might not be enough. 7-point Texan lead, 14 seconds to go. And both teams in the double bonus right now. If the Hawks can force a tie-up, they would get the basketball back on the alternating possession. Latz inbounds it to Watts. Gets it back, under 10 seconds to go. Watts with a baseball pass Royal falls down, and then a hard foul with 2 seconds to go. Duque slowing it up for Canyon Lake. Up on his feet. Again, this game has been physical at times here tonight. You saw Royal falling down as he got that pass away. And then it was Duque with a hard foul against Zane Sutton. And Sutton got Duque up into the air. A dozen in the game for Zane Sutton. He'll get one more. As Wimberley will wrap up its second straight win and 6th win of the last 7 games. A team hitting its peak at the right time with the playoffs right around the corner. 1 of 2 for Sutton. Paulie, one last tee. Instead of pass to winners, and that'll do it. The Hawks again played valiantly, but the Texans able to outlast them over the course of 4 quarters as Wimberley sweeps the season series. In a back-and-forth rivalry game, the Texans take it by a final of 79-71. On behalf of our entire Hawks Network crew, you've been watching Canyon Lake High School basketball on the Hawks Network.